Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with the miserable liberal and Ron Placone. Oh, look, they got the Jimmy Dore mugs. They got the Jimmy Dore T-shirt. Fantastic.
Our thirst is so quenched.
You can look underneath. You can get it. There's a link right underneath there. Go to our store. Help support the show. Guess what's happening right now? You know, because of Charlottesville, you saw that horrible tragedy where the white supremacists mowed into a crowd of people and killed that woman. So guess what? In fact, there was a lot of legislation trying to make that legal, that you could to make it legal to drive into people who are protesting. But now they're going the other way. In California, a revamped bill deems driving into a group of protesters an act of domestic terrorism. Yep, that's what they're trying. So Ricardo Lara, he's a Democrat from Bell Gardens. He's going to consider the act infringement on free speech and assembly. So not only, it's already illegal to drive your car into people, but it's going to add more stuff onto it. Although it is already illegal, Lara said the attacks, they need to be treated differently, he says. California needs to be strong in defense of our constitutional rights and say there is no margin for error in a car versus protester attack. No, there isn't. Unless we act now, these kinds of attacks have become more common. The changes in response to the Heather Heyer in Charlottesville, Virginia. Boy, she had some great parents. So sad. That's such a sad story. Anyone who uses a motor vehicle to kill or injure a group expressing a political position could face 2 to 4 years in state prison. You would think they would already be facing a lot more.
Yeah, well,
this is on top.
This is if they're,
This is on top.
This is also if they are not successful.
And successful, you mean,
Yeah, right. If
someone dies or is seriously injured, the driver could face life in prison without the possibility of parole or 25 years to life in state jail. Okay. People who drive away from violence in reasonable fear and officers who use a motor vehicle in a safe and reasonable manner to direct crowds and respond to emergencies are exempt. Well, let me tell you something. That guy in Charlottesville would say he was in fear because they already are saying that. They're saying that he was being attacked. People were hitting his car with sticks. They're already saying that. They said it immediately. And from the videotape I saw, people didn't start hitting his car until he smashed into people. Then they went after his car.
Well, and let's not forget the officer's clause here too. You know, I remember when I was a kid, we would always go to the 4th of July picnics, me and my family, and there would be cops there kind of directing people, and you would know like where to go because it's like, well, run away from the car that's chasing you. They're directing you. That was where it was where you guys grew up too. Right?
Yes. Lara's bill is a late entrant into the legislative debate, quickly cobbled together 2 weeks before the year's session ends. There's also legislation similar to this in Florida, North Carolina, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Texas. So I guess that's good. I guess it's punitive more, but I don't think it's going to stop anybody from doing anything because there's already laws against killing people and running into them on purpose. So you're going to do a lot of time for that to begin with. I wonder why that guy did that with his car. Like maybe because he was young and dumb and didn't realize he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Mm-hmm. That guy, by the way, had a history of domestic violence. He was brutal towards his mother. That guy. He had a history of it. And so I just think there's something. Maybe that kid played football and he had his head cracked. You know, they say there was one we read, I think we even reported on this show. They've done a study. They found that if you have a traumatic brain injury at a young age, more likely you become a pedophile. Did you know that? Remember we reported that? We read that? So there's a lot of these kids. Maybe that guy played football and he had concussions and it affected him. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, well, on top of all this, he's also a white supremacist.
He's
got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Wow. Okay, so there you go. I guess, so what are your feelings about this? Anybody have a feeling about this, Bill?
I'm glad we're calling terrorism. I am glad. Okay. I am glad for that because, you know, I mean, I said, you know, Charlottesville was an act of terrorism.
You know, you're
Nazis.
right. Yeah, you're right. That's so okay, so I'm on board now with this. You just convinced me. It's good that we're calling terrorism. Again, horribly misguided. I've seen people I respect comparing anti-fascist violence with fascist violence. So the guys at Normandy, everybody was equal. Really? No big deal? At what point? So here's the question that we have to start asking. So there's people on the left now saying that anti-fascist violence is almost equivalent to fascist violence, which that's just frickin' crazy. You're something wrong with your morality meter when you say that. I don't know. We're going to talk about another video, but it can't be. Being a fascist and standing up to fascists cannot be the same thing. But that's another video. I guess it's another video. I guess. Hey everybody, we have 2 live Jimmy Dore shows in September. September 25th, we're in San Diego, and September 18th in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right there. There's a link right there.